Oh my God, this candle smells amazing. My roommate actually won it at, I believe, a bridal shower recently. It smells so good. I feel like pumpkin can be tough because it's so strong. Sometimes it almost makes me feel nauseous, but this one is very good. This is a really exciting week for FWB because Morgan and I are going to LA to meet with the West Coast team. We're gonna have an event with all of our West Coast creators to celebrate FWB's 4th year anniversary, a little bit of a belated celebration. And Morgan and I are gonna take some meetings in LA while we're out there. And I'm gonna vlog it all. I'm getting ready for the airport right now. I'm gonna put on some light makeup to get myself ready. I'm not using any foundation today. I actually am going to use this Color Science face shield. It's sunblock, but it is tinted. It's actually really cool. So it comes out white, but when I put it on my face, it matches to my skin tone and it gives me a really dewy look. I love to be tan even in the winter, so I will use tinted sunblock or a bronzer or the Holy Grail Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. If you do not use it, you need to use it. It will make your skin glisten and have a little tint. It's really beautiful. I definitely recommend it. You should live in LA if you like the sunny weather. Unfortunately, when I lived there last year, it was the rainiest season ever. It actually rained more in LA than it did in Seattle last year. And I was promised all of this beautiful weather, 70 degrees, don't need a jacket, but it's not too hot, especially because I was living in Marina del Rey. And I got rain, rain, rain. Then I learned about May gray. So when I thought the weather was gonna get better, May gray came. Then I heard about June gloom. It was such a catfish. I think it was actually hotter on the East Coast than it was in the West, in LA last year. Like my parents would call me, they're like, it's 80 degrees here, it's beautiful. And it would be raining in LA, but that wasn't normal. The nice thing was, there was so much greenery, so many plants from all the rain. It was really needed, so that was pretty. But yeah, the rain was definitely a buzzkill for me. It's not supposed to rain at all this coming week, so we'll be in the clear. But yes, you should move to LA if you like the warm weather, you like being near the ocean. I will say, I feel like, I'm from Massachusetts, the East Coast beaches are cleaner and nicer. Particularly in Massachusetts, the beaches are really nice there. Then the ones in LA, unfortunately, because it's in a city, there can be a lot of trash on the beaches. I would come home feeling really dirty. But in Malibu, it's just stunning. There's a beach there, and every single time you go, you will see dolphins. My mom and I swam in it. The waves are intense. But we saw so many dolphins, and it was so beautiful. And there's a little restaurant right on the beach there too, which is fun to go to. You should also live in LA if you're looking to be around people that are very chill. A lot of East Coasters say they dislike the people in LA, and I understand that. There were some people that I would meet at parties that just wanted to pitch me an idea or only cared about what felt very transactional. It seemed like they only cared about how I could potentially help them, less genuine. But honestly, the majority of people I met out there, I loved. I don't know if it was the circles I was running in or the fact that I had so many friends out there before I moved, but everyone was so nice. And I'm a big believer that if you are kind and you're putting good energy out there, people will be attracted to that and they'll reciprocate it. Not so much in like a woo-woo way, but like if you're nice to someone, it's going to be harder for them to be mean to you. Like, I feel like it's just almost a logical thing to think about. Like one time, this is actually a crazy story, but one time I was meeting my client and friend, Austin, for a matcha latte. And we met at this really cool coffee shop that was in a barber shop. It was such a vibe. I got there a bit early, so I went up to the counter to look at the menu, and the woman there, she was so cute. She reminded me almost of a fairy. She was petite, and she had this fun, fuzzy hat on, and yeah, she was just really quirky. And she's like, how are you? And, you know, I said I was good. I was meeting my friend. She's like, can I get you anything? And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to wait to order until my friend gets here. And then she goes, wow, you have an amazing energy. And I was just like, thank you. And she goes, yes, I actually can read people's auras, and I can see this bright yellow color just surrounding you, happiness and joy. And I was like, oh, wow, thanks. Like, I didn't know what to say. It was just a positive interaction. I don't know much about reading people's auras. So anyway, so she's like, please sit down and wait and come back when your friend is here. So I sit down, then I see Austin. I'm like, you're going to love the person at the counter. They're so funny. So we go up and we order our drinks. And she also tells Austin that she sees a beautiful green light around him. And green is actually his favorite color. And then, you know, I was going to treat. So I go to pay. She's like, no, this is on the house. You cannot pay. And not for nothing, the coffees in LA are like 15, 20 bucks. So I was like, oh my God, like, thank you so much. Are you sure? She was like, yes. And I've told this story to some jaded East Coasters, and they're like, oh, she was just looking for a big tip. Well, I go, okay, well, I have to tip you. I go to tip her. She grabs the tip jar and runs to the back of the coffee shop. She's like, no, I don't want any of your money. Like, please, you are just amazing people, and I want you to have these drinks on the house. And I was like, oh my God. So we sat down. We had our coffees. When she brought them over, I gave her a tip because that was just ridiculous. Too much. But she was so nice. And, you know, I told my friend that it was Morgan. Morgan goes, this sounds like an SNL skit. And it does. It sounds absurd. I have this like fairy barista telling me my aura, giving me free matcha. But it was awesome. Like, I got a free drink. I met an amazing person. I did totally lean into it. And at the end, when we were saying goodbye, I said we should have a group hug. And we did do a group hug. I told my mom that. She was like, Katie, what? So you definitely change if you're living out there, if you lean into it. But I think that's nice, doing a group hug with a stranger. Why not? So yeah, those are the kinds of people that you will meet in LA. If you are up for that, then move there. But I do think you need to put that energy out there to receive it. Morgan and I had one of our first business trips in LA, and we went with our client Ian, who if you've been watching my vlogs, you'll see him in a lot. And it was so funny. It was our first year. We were really bootstrapping it, and we shared an Airbnb with him. Basically, we stayed in Beverly Hills, but the Airbnb was some very, very wealthy person's pool house. So we literally stayed in a pool house. We're in Beverly Hills, but we were in a pool house. And honestly, it was so fun. It's great when you grow up with people in a work environment and you're trying to build a business. And now Morgan and I are staying in a gorgeous hotel. We've come a long way, and we've gone from, you know, a few creators to almost 40 creators now across all of our managers, and it's really exciting. Something I was talking with my client Ian about last night is taking time to look back at how far you've come. You know, in your career, have you had a promotion? I think it's really nice to be proud of everything you've accomplished, because sometimes when you're going through it and you're in the day-to-day, you don't think about your journey from graduating college or wherever you're at in life. Even in a year, you can make such a difference. So yeah, I would just take a moment to reflect on where you've been and where you are now. And hopefully you're in a better place. And you know, life has ups and downs. So if not, better times ahead. All right, I'm gonna get dressed and then we can head to the airport. My flight to LA was good, but honestly, I should have been paid for this flight. First, a man had sat in my seat before I even got there and then went to the bathroom. So while he was in the bathroom, I sat down in my seat and saw that someone who I thought was from another flight left their laptop there. So I gave it to the flight attendant. He came back, was like, wait, what seat am I in? Where's my laptop? So I had to help him. Then 2 separate women came up to me asking where they were sitting. And I'm like, excuse me, am I the flight attendant? Like, where is my paycheck? I flew in a day earlier than Morgan so that I could visit my best friend and my old roommate when I was living in LA last year before the work trip. I also got to meet her 2 new fur babies. They are so cute. Then it was off to the hotel. Morgan and I spent the week at the London in West Hollywood. It was an absolute beautiful stay. I recommend it. The food is delicious. The staff is wonderful, especially the concierge. He was amazing. And the bed was so comfy. To do 3 takes of this because the first one the pillow fell, the second one I legit hurt myself by hitting my head, and then the third one I was like, okay, no more jumping. The view from the balcony was so beautiful. Sunset was gorgeous. Then we have LA at night. In the morning it was super foggy, so I woke up, hit the gym, which was great, and had a delicious breakfast with Morgan. On Sunday, before the work week started, Morgan and I went to Malibu with our 2 good friends, Ori, who we actually worked at that same agency we met at with my roommate, Emily, and a friend that she introduced us to, Laura, who has become a really good friend of ours and is FWB's head of finance. She is a finance genius. Amazing.
Live in New York and we go to California. Oh, yeah.
We ate at Malibu Farms, which was absolutely delicious, and they do have a Malibu Farms in Manhattan if you want to try it out. The next day, we had a work lunch at the Butcher, the Baker, the Cappuccino Maker with our 2 LA talent managers, Steph and Amanda, and our very close Linktree brand rep and friend, Farah. Morgan and I spent the rest of the week meeting with our LA brand contacts and having one-on-one meetings to talk about FWB and the future of the company. But the grand finale of the week and why we were so excited to be out there was to have our LA celebration for FWB's 4-year anniversary. We went to a pottery studio and everyone got to make their own mug, bowl, whatever they wanted.
So exactly how I expected.
I think they look awesome.
Yours is gorge. She's an astronaut.
Both The Mar Gorge. And we got to see clients that we haven't seen in a while and meet some of our West Coast clients who we've never met before. It was an amazing night. Everyone had so much fun. And it was an amazing week for Morgan and I. So happy we got to have this trip. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I hope that you get to visit LA one day and try some of the spots that I recommended. And if you liked the vlog and want more, please subscribe to my channel. Have a great weekend, beautiful.